Hey, what's up, everybody? You are watching On the Town with Tanya, and I'm your host. Thank you so much for coming back another week. We appreciate you. Please hit that share button if you can, because as we always say, we like for people to learn new information whenever they can. So today, there is seems to be a big topic on cannabis, cancer. Lots of research being done on what's helpful, what they think is helpful, what they don't think is helpful, and who only knows. But I do say, as a mom, you do what you have to do for your kids, and that's the bottom line. So, with that being said, there's a new breed of moms that are using cannabis to help them parent. Some are using them for other herbal modalities, and some are using it to avoid chemo. And I see nothing wrong with doing whatever you think is best for your child. So. Here with me today is a lovely young lady who in her own words says, "I'm just a mom on a mission to save our people." I love that so much. So please welcome for me, as they call her, OGCannamom, but we may know her also as Sierra Lynn Riddle. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for taking time to come. I really appreciate you.
Yes,
Oh
no, thank you for hosting things like this. They are very important for our communities.
Yes, I'm a big advocate for all information is necessary, because then you can make better decisions.
Yes, and in fact, I'm going to move just a little bit because the
Sure.
sun is blinding me to death. So hopefully everybody can still see me.
Yes. Okay. No problem. So okay. So first of all, you have the name OGCannamom. So OG usually means like old, gangsta, old. You've been at this a long time. So how
Yeah.
did you get that name first? I'll ease into the conversation that way.
Quite simply, I got the name OGCannamom because my son, Landon, was the youngest American citizen given a medical marijuana card in 2012, and he was 2 years old at the time and dying from terminal cancer.
Oh, wow.
And I said I wasn't going to cry, but here we go already.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I would be the same every minute, That's a hard, when your kids have anything, much less something that they're telling you terminal. You have magical strength is all I could say. Magical. But please
Yeah.
share with us that story, because I was going to get to that, but however you want to tell it. That's fine.
Yeah. So honestly, that's literally the only reason I'm involved in the industry. That's the only reason I have that name. Before that, I was a normal person, right? I feel like, honestly, that's probably true for most people, that their children are diagnosed with cancer, right? We're all just normal people. And on the end of September of 2012, my 2-year-old son was diagnosed with terminal cancer. So he just had like a normal, what we thought was like a cough, cold, and flu. We took him to the emergency room, and they told us, "We are so sorry, but he has leukemia, and it is very severe, and it is in a terminal range, and he has an 8 to 10% chance of survival for 24 to 48 hours.
24 to 48 hours. Oh my gosh. What went through your head? Like, how did you
Really just like, what? I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Right.
What did you just say?
Right.
What, like, so you're like, I'm sorry, first of all, what? My kid has cancer, right? First of all, my baby, right? Number two, what do you mean? They're not going to make it, right? What do you mean? Right? Like, it's just, your mind is blown, right? It's almost like you go into shock, you know what I mean? Right. And you don't know why they got cancer. You don't know how they got cancer. It is a very, like just a bomb in your life. You don't have any understanding of what's about to happen, what has already happened, right? And that it's just off to the races.
Oh, gosh, I can't imagine. And now, did you have a partner to at least help you like decipher all this?
Oh, no, I have been a single mom Landon's entire life.
Okay, so that's even double whammy, and that's I hope people understand that is, I can't even tell you, to have to make that decision by yourself is the most disheartening thing. I can't even imagine anything else. And I say that because I was a single mom, so I can't imagine if my kid got a diagnosis. I mean, they broke something, and I was already having a tizzy over that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, most people do. I mean, none of us want our children, to be hurt in any type of way, much less something that can cost them their life.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So at that point, how did you get this other option in your head? Or did you do with the basis of what they said, and then it kept turning left, and you said, whoa, wait a minute.
Yep. So Landon, sorry, I keep trying to move so I can make this wind not go through my eyeballs. So Landon, unfortunately, was in a very small percentage of human beings that do as bad with chemotherapy as he did. So within 90 days, Landon had lost 50% of his body weight. So he was 40 pounds at diagnosis. Now he's 20 pounds. He lost his ability to talk. He lost his ability to walk. He lost his ability to eat. So he was IV fed at that point. And they came in, and, before they came in, me and my mother started, really like, hey, something's not right here. Right. Like, like he's getting really sick. Right. And vomiting 25 to 50 times a day. He can't walk anymore. And they just keep saying, oh, this is normal. Oh, this is this side effect. My son was prescribed OxyContin, morphine at 2 years old. No. Because he was in such severe pain and having such severe reactions to these chemotherapies and radiation that they did to him. So at 90, about right before that, we started looking, right? And we had created the Facebook page Offer Hope for Landon, which is still into existence to this day, where I could update, people, family, friends, because I just could not keep up with it as a single mom of everybody asking every day, how's Landon? What's going on? Right. And we just posted on there, we need to find something else, right? We don't care if we have to go to another country, right? Whatever needs to happen, but this is not going well. And so we started, looking into all kinds of things, stem cells, hyperbaric treatments in Germany, right? I mean, there's honestly a lot of different things out there that can treat cancer. Right. And a lady that my mom went to high school with, reached out to her and said, hey, I see that you guys are looking into other things. And I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, which is the worst cancer, right? It's like a 5%. Yeah. I mean, it's awful.
My brother died. One of my brothers.
That she's been in remission for all these years, and she used cannabis oil. Yeah. What? And this was, 11 years ago. And so my mom, at first was very upset with her, right? Like, why would you? He's 2 years old, lady. What the fuck? Right? Like, he's not going to smoke weed. And she's like, I didn't smoke weed. I took this oil. Right. And so my mom started looking into it, researching it. She found a lot of studies from Jamaica. She found a lot of studies from Israel. Right. But all the ones from America were like, no, devil's lettuce. Right. But she did find people, adults, that were using it as, to mitigate side effects or whatever it was. Right. So we started, really, really looking into it. Are there other kids using it? Right. And we did find some, but they were nowhere near Landon's age. Okay. And they were still doing the chemotherapy. Right. Well, it was going to kill Landon faster at that point than cancer was. So we were at the hospital one day in Salt Lake City, Utah, and the group of doctors walked in and said that Landon was experiencing chemotherapy toxicity. And we needed to make him comfortable. He could not have anymore. His body was in such bad shape that we were going to bring in hospice nurses and make him comfortable. And he was not going to last for very much longer. And me and my mom were just sitting there like, y'all said you had this. Right. Like you said, you got this. This is the number one diagnosed cancer with children. It's a 93% success rate. And they were like, well, yours is going to be the 7.
No. Oh my gosh. Well,
I guess none of us ever think that our kids might be that 7%, right? You look at that 93% like, oh, we got this. No. So we loaded up, and they, we were 300 and something miles from my house, because that's where the Children's Cancer Center was. And we went into the car, got Landon buckled into his car seat, and we just looked at each other. We were like, fuck that. right? Like, absolutely not. Right. But we did reach out and had already contacted the Stanley brothers in Colorado. And so we called them and said, hey, shit's going bad, right? Real bad. And they were like, come on. So we drove all night into Colorado, got Landon his card like within 24 hours and gave him that first dose of cannabis oil. And that changed our lives forever.
Wow. So those brothers, what are they known for, the brothers?
They are actually known for CBD. That they, are one of the, few companies that started creating CBD products for people. And Charlotte's Web is the name of it. And they mainly dealt with children with epilepsy. But we needed to throw everything at it. So Landon was the second child alongside Charlotte of Charlotte's Web to take Charlotte's Web CBD oil. But he also took 2 times the amount of their THC oil per day.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And the results were incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Really?
He was able to sleep. He actually, his first dose, he slept for 18 hours and my mom was freaking out. But at this point I was already medically trained. So I could take care of my son. I knew that they weren't going to do a good job, right? They're stressed out. They're overworked, underpaid. We could go on, but I will ensure my son lives. So I got my licenses to run his IVs, to do blood products, to do his medications. I even got paid by the state of Colorado to take care of my son, just like a nurse would. And then I helped other parents do the same thing, because why are other people getting paid to take care of our children?
Exactly. So
we
you're
need a job.
Practitioner as well. You're a practitioner, right?
Yes.
Well? Right. So that's very important, because you have other, like some people have only one modality of something. And so that's okay. But then you got to do extra research, right?
Yes.
But if you understand the other side, now we can bring it all together and figure out, wait a minute, well, that wasn't working. This is how we can interact this with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think.
And that is the biggest part, is bringing multiple modalities together to create a feasible treatment plan for people that is non-invasive, right? Non-harmful, and actually can get them to remission and cured.
Right.
That's the most important thing here. We don't want stable, right? We want remission, and then we want cured. No relapse, no secondary.
Wow. Good for you. Well, now have you seen, I mean, I'm jumping all over the place because so many questions I have. It's like, I'm trying to think, which one should I do first? All right. So, since we got to that, have you seen the new study? Maybe I shouldn't say that, because I forgot. They love to cite you for everything here. They like to ban you for anything you say. So now I got to figure out how to rephrase that question. There is a new study out, and work with me on this one. There's a new study out, at least over in Europe, at UK, suggesting that taking those boost, I'll just say that, can allegedly increase cancer rates. Did I say that right without saying it?
Yeah.
So I do not make any claims. I'll say that disclaimer. I do not make any claims. I am not a doctor, but that is something that I've seen in the journal and watched on the news here. So maybe they haven't done it yet. They probably won't. But it was saying, if you do have that, do not do that extra stuff. I won't say the word. Yeah.
And so that, that's something that really does need to be addressed. I can't speak about Europe or anything else, right? Unfortunately, I'm an American, so I can't speak about America. 15,000 plus children will be diagnosed with cancer this year in America. When I started with Landon 11 years ago, it was not anywhere near that. Okay, so we are seeing a huge increase in children. And we've also seen a huge increase in vaccine schedules in America. Again, I can't talk about, things I don't know. But in America, I do know, because my son was vaccine injured. So my son was taken behind my back by his godparents to get his MMR, which is measles, mumps, and rubella. Within 30 days, my son was dying from cancer. It is listed in his medical files that he was vaccine injured.
Well, I'll tell you something off the record after this about my MMR when I went back to college.
So I have a prescription note, right? As well as it's in his medical files. He will never, ever be able to get any type of vaccine because he was born early. So he had immune comparable, right? And so, do you know how many people walking upon this great earth are immune compromised due to all types of situations, narcotics, stress, bad environments, low nutrition, low vitamin levels, low mineral levels, right?
Yes.
Antibiotics. I could keep going on and fucking on, girl, right? So when you have those things already there and then you introduce a virus, right?
Yes.
It can cause such havoc in your body that you can get cancer. Or the other option is an autoimmune disease.
Yeah, because your cells are already at a deficit because this is my 5-year-old way of explaining it. Your cells have a protector layer over it. Let's just say this is my version. And when that layer is penetrated, hence why you get really sick or a little sick.
Exactly.
So I'm learning more about it, and I don't know the exact medical terms, but I totally understand it. And I've been saying it for years, but no one wanted to listen to me because I'm not a doctor. And now I hear all the my herbalist friends actually showing these little models, and I'm like, I've been saying that, but I didn't say it the way that the correct medical way.
Yes.
But bottom line is, if your cells ain't right, good luck.
Well, and that's what I always tell people. A lot of people have asked me because I was, very young 20s when my son had cancer. I'm 36 now. He's 11 years cancer free. Never a relapse, never a secondary. I could have already become a doctor, girl. But I tell them, why would I do that when I will then be held to a standard and then they can take it away from me, right? Yes, they can say, if you don't do this or if you say this, right? I'm just a fucking mom. Right? What y'all gonna say? Y'all cannot tell me nothing because I'm just a fucking mom, right? You're not gonna take nothing from me, have me go before some board and be like, you can't tell people that. I'm gonna tell the truth no matter what.
Right.
No matter what. And again, my son is 11 years cancer free. Plus, I have a whole barrage of children that I have helped that are 9 years cancer free, 8 years cancer free, and 5 years is all you need for cured.
Really?
Yes. So they're all cured, aren't they? And their parents had to do the same thing that I did, right? But they used my court case from Child Protective Services because I fought and won, right? But I'm one of the only parents to have ever won. So they used that case to then, submit their court case and win. Yes, because poisoning yourself will never cure cancer. I'm not sure why anybody thinks that. Plus, they're making a lot of money off of poisoning our fucking children. Yes, okay, I don't care if you're an adult. Yeah, if you're an adult and you go sign up for chemo, like, good for you, right? You have every full functioning capacity to make that decision. But you are poisoning and torturing children all in the name of chemotherapy. And that is not it at all.
And the thing is, because it would go against big pharma is why you get shut down. If you say, like, even if I say the wrong thing here, they're gonna be like, we cited you and we can't play this video. And I'm like, for what? I've told you I'm not a doctor. I told you that this is just opinion. Why are you so scared of an opinion?
Well, and they are so scared, girl, because if people start waking up, right, and really where it starts is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Okay. Nobody's children should be diagnosed with cancer, but nobody's children should also be eating fruity fucking pebbles.
Exactly. With the red dyes. I mean, really.
Okay. Nobody's children should be eating at McDonald's.
Yeah, they ban them in certain countries. You can't.
And that's a big issue, right? It's like, I think the last time I looked, it's 10,000 of American food ingredients that are mainly marketed towards children are illegal in other countries.
Skittles.
And y'all do not have the amount of obesity, the amount of epilepsy, the amount of ADHD, the amount of cancers that we do for children in America. But nobody wants to listen and change their diet, right? Start giving their children healthy things like just CBD, which is legal everywhere. No psychoactive effect, opens up the cannabinoid system, and will make sure your child never gets cancer. But nobody, we want to take our children to McDonald's every day in America, feed them the Fruity Pebbles, hot dogs, frozen pizzas, Minute Maid juices, right? And then cry. Oh, girl, big girl tears when our children get cancer. And everybody, please stop and help me and donate. And oh my God, while you're taking them to get more poison.
Yes.
It
And isn't
makes
that,
no sense.
well,
None.
you know what it is, and in all fairness, how to say? Well, I guess to be fair, yeah, I think that most people, in at this stage of the game of the social media game, right? Television, radio, Instagram, everything puts these images and these programs in our heads. So at this point, I would say, I'm going to say at least 85% of the population, in my opinion only, is programmed
Oh,
to
girl,
think of whatever was the main thing that everybody's doing. So you go to the doctor when you get cancer, that's what I'm doing, because that
my
must be
opinion
the
is
right
like
thing.
95% if you had to know. And
I
that's just
know.
because I've been doing this for 11 years, all day, every day.
Yeah,
And girl, it's so bad, even when they see it not working on the cancer,
yeah.
right? But they
Still
do see it killing the body. They will
yeah.
still keep going.
Oh, I know. And
That doesn't
that's
make
the
any
thing.
sense.
Nope.
And
Nope.
then
I
here
got
these
friends.
doctors are riding the yacht SS Landon.
Yeah. Yeah. Really.
Oh my God. Right? Like watching them leave, in their Lexus and their Mercedes
Oh
and
yeah,
I'm
but
like,
it's a very, like Emma says here, it's a lucrative business, but also I noticed, I'll just say this to cover myself. Let's just say, even something like mammograms, I believe that's a hustle, and especially because all my friends in other countries, they don't never go get them unless they think something's wrong with their breast. They don't go. They don't
girl,
go.
did you know mammograms are illegal in Switzerland and a few other countries because they are known to cause breast
Breast cancer.
cancer? You need
But
a thermogram, which
yes,
costs less than $150
yes,
if you pay
yes,
for it out of pocket. But I have so
exactly.
many women. I posted a thing about that.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I can't afford that. If you can't afford $150, we got bigger problems, lady. Bigger problems. But you go get your titties squished and then get cancer and then cry about it, lose your hair.
Yeah,
Everybody donate to me. Like,
yeah,
oh, I can't
yeah,
work. I mean, it is
yeah,
like this huge victimization, right,
yes.
of people when you, from the, in fact, I've
Mhm,
got a lady right now. She has a lump in her titty, right?
mhm,
Is going to get the biopsy, already has it scheduled, right? Which, if they're already going to do all that, they already know, and they're trying to stage your cancer and, make sure it's the right type, right? And
yep,
she's like, getting a hold of me. I want to order cannabis and the diet and nutrition products and the cleanses, right? And this and that. But I'm going to wait until I get the biopsy results.
yes.
I told her, girl, cancer does not take 1 second off. As
Nope.
soon as you have allowed your body to reach toxicity, which is two branches, cancer or autoimmune diseases, once
Mhm,
that happens, it doesn't stop. It will
yep,
grow and grow and grow.
yes, yes, and
That's
that's
the only thing it can do.
wow. I just don't understand, sometimes, I mean, I understand people get scared, that I understand, especially if you don't have family or you don't have someone to back you up that knows about these things. I can understand how people get very scared and leery, because even myself, I believed all the hype up until about 10 years ago, but more recently, they tried to scare me as well, with the lump in the breast thing, and they were like, "Well, you should come back every 6 months," and I was like, "Who? Not me." And then they were like, "Well, no, it
Like, you'll
won't be."
never see me again.
No. Well, silly me did
Let me
go.
fix
I
it.
waited. I waited 3 years, but and someone's like, "What? Are you crazy?" I said, "No, I'm not crazy. I just know my body, and when something's wrong, like all the other times, I
This
know
is
when it's wrong, and I follow it." So in the meantime, I just eat vegan and try to eat plant-based and try to stay in my lane with food and not eat because there's food. And then, whatever happens, happens. I'm not gonna go out with some chemo though. I'm not doing that for me. I can, if somebody wants to do it, no problem. But for me,
Go for it, right?
yeah,
But,
I can't.
my thing, girl, is when we're talking about children,
Children,
they don't
that
get a choice. The choice is solely, based off of their parents, right?
yes,
And what their
yes,
parents think and how their parents' indoctrination is, right?
yes,
And the
yes,
only people that are suffering and dying from that are children. Now,
yes.
their parents are going to suffer after
Mhm.
they die, right?
Right,
And yes, of course, we suffer while we're going through it, right, with
mhm,
our children,
right,
but it is absolutely unnecessary.
right.
Right.
Wow.
And I know that everybody has been programmed and really bought and sold. That's really what it is. Right.
Yes.
Because we know deep in our heart that something
Mhm.
isn't right here. Right.
No.
We know we should not all be sick. We know we should not all be this, but every time I drive past a McDonald's, there's a line around it.
Yes.
So I've had to just realize that some of us, have already woken up to the fact, and it was mainly because we got bitch slapped by reality, that,
Yes.
we have got to work on our health, which starts with mind, body, and soul. Those are
Yes.
3 different categories that you have to work on, but let's just go with the body.
Right.
I have made it so easy for people now. So easy. Okay. The number one thing I hear all the time, girl, is eating organically is so expensive. And it is.
I always say that.
So I found, in fact, this company found me when my son was sick, because the lady came up to me at a conference and was like, are you serious right now? And I'm like, I'm as serious as HIV, baby. Yes, my son had cancer, and yes, I did this, and we can go. Right. And she's like, no, like I did the same thing 25 years ago. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
She's like, yeah, but I had to go to Mexico. And I'm like,
Mexico. My friend did that.
really? And she told me, I'd love to talk about, the diet and nutrition part. And I'm like, let's go. Right. I'm feeding him all organic fruits and vegetables out the asshole. Right. Like, let's go. And she's like, well, there's this product that it is organic, whole food, vegan, kosher, gluten-free, soy-free, corn-free. I'm like, good Lord, $58 a month.
Right.
16 servings of fruits and 16 servings of vegetables. And that covered $58 a month, covers 1 adult and 1 child.
Right. I saw that. I saw that. And
girl, that changed my life. That changed my life, that all of a sudden I was able to afford, right, Landon's fruits and vegetables. And I knew he was getting them in. They're bioavailable. And he just started getting even better and better and better. And I started saving so much money, right? Because I was juicing. I'm trying to get this kid to eat like 99 broccoli florets and 1 on the wall. And he's 2 years old, 3 years old. And I'm like, juicing celery. And he was not having it. He was not having it.
Did you find out if, okay, so I know it's all organic, but what was the question? Is it, now, well, in a scheme of all things, I guess always fresh is best, right? But
no, not anymore.
Lab tests? Do they do lab tests to make sure that those, like if I take those vitamins right now and they test my blood, will it show that, oh, you got your nutrients? You know what I'm saying? That's key.
And that they have so much, in fact, this company was founded in 1970. They have so much clinical research, right, that they have done. And it is just absolutely, mind blowing, right? I'll send you the link for it. And it's always up on my website. And,
please do.
I give it to a lot of elders. Because again, they can't afford it. Right. No, and it has actually been proven to reverse and prevent dementia and Alzheimer's.
Wow.
Because all we have to do is get our proper nutrition. Right. Okay. And so trying to, explain to people that if we can make it from point A to point B, right? We do not have to make everything so hard to do. Right. And like I saw someone commented and said, if it doesn't have a seed, it's not organic. All their foods come from seed.
Well, that's what
all the food comes from seed.
Yeah, she was just saying
and that's a big problem. If you're eating food, fruits, vegetables, whatever that have no seeds, you're not eating real food. If you are eating food like products, you're not eating real food. So I try to tell people, you are better off taking those 2 capsules of organic from seeded fruits every day and don't ever eat anything ever again.
Right.
Because you can live on 16 servings of fruits and you can live on 16 servings of vegetables per day, can't you? Right. In fact, ask me how I know. Girl, do you have children?
Yes.
When was the first time you gave a baby meat?
Oh, well, one didn't like it. She was, I don't even know. The other one.
So all babies are vegetarians, aren't they?
Oh,
now they're not vegans, but they are vegetarians. And they're like that until you get teeth, right?
Yes.
And and even then we're giving them, little teeny pieces and making sure they're chewing, right? Because it will choke them. So if babies can live and grow and do all this fun stuff, right? Why can't we? And we can. Right. There are 100-year-old vegetarians.
Oh yeah. Well, one doctor made a good point when someone said, "Oh, I can't get my muscles and I can't do this without the meat." And it's like, well, gorillas do, and so do cows. So now what? And you're eating a cow to get your greens when you could just eat the greens. It doesn't make sense. And I was
Well,
like,
and
wow,
everybody wants to talk about like, oh, Sierra, I'm not going to get enough protein from lettuce. And I'm like, who is out here just eating like a rabbit, right? We have so many different proteins now, from pea proteins to
right.
different types of broccoli proteins. Hemp protein is a complete protein. And, I grew up on the border of Mexico. Beans
Okay.
and rice is a complete protein. They've been living
Right.
off that shit in a tortilla for eons, girl. So people just want to think, because they are addicted to food and addicted to eating, right? And also addicted to programming. All of the companies that need you to buy their food, make sure that you know that you need to eat at least 2,000 calories a day and 3 meals a day. If your ass is sitting down, not moving around, you do not need 2,000 calories a day. You need that if you're a working man,
Right.
right?
Well,
Or if you're a pregnant woman or a breastfeeding woman, right? Because now
mm,
you are expending more calories. But if you are just, sitting in an office desk or sitting at home watching Netflix, I don't care what you're doing, right? You do
right.
not need all that food.
No.
Also,
Wow.
detox. If you
Yes.
are never
Detoxing.
detoxing, and I'm sorry, I don't care where you live, we live in a
Mhm.
toxin filled environment, right? I can't
Absolutely.
get away from other people's perfumes and body sprays, which are known endocrine disruptors.
Yes. Yes,
So
they
every
are.
day I'm detoxing.
Mm,
Landon gets in the infrared sauna all the time. He does the
okay.
ionic foot detox all the time. He does colon cleanses all the time. He does
Okay.
organ cleanses all the time. We do a once a quarter parasite
Mm,
cleanse, both of us.
wow.
Once a quarter. So that's four
One,
times a year.
wow.
So
Where do you get those?
So we used to just make them ourselves.
Hmm.
But I started collaborating with people, and I
Hmm.
found a mom that her daughter also had cancer, and she received a bone marrow transplant that gave her graft versus host disease, and it was
Wow.
going to kill her. And she had a
Wow.
parasite infestation. So she started making it because she didn't
Wow.
trust anybody. None of us trust anybody to give something to our kids that have cancer. If you won't give
Yeah.
it to your kid with cancer, why would I?
Right. Oh no.
So
Wow.
I started watching her. Girl, the amount of pictures of people that were sending her of worms coming out of them. Oh my God. So I was like,
Oh.
hey, I would love to help you build your business, right? I
Hmm.
understand being a mom of a kid with cancer is hard, and she couldn't work anymore, right? And her product really works. So I tried it on me and Landon first. Plus, it's affordable. And also, another huge thing that I want to say, most people
Hmm.
are doing parasite cleanses, but they do not know about binders. You cannot
Uh,
just do a parasite cleanse and not a binder. The only two binders available are fulvic acid or activated charcoal. You have to
oh, right.
bind those toxins and the parasite itself once it's dying to be moved out of you, or you will reabsorb it back in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes,
Oh.
most people
So,
don't, because they're not giving, people are gatekeeping information, right?
right.
Because
Right.
buy my cleanse, by myself. Do
Right.
this, right? No. What the hell is wrong with people? There are billions of people on this planet that we have got to get healthy, or we are headed to straight dystopia. We're already
Right.
almost there.
Right. Well,
So
wait.
hers is $97, and it's actually like 3 months supply, and it comes with the fulvic acid and the parasite cleanse that is all natural and all organic. Now you can
Okay.
find about 1 million online, but
Mm,
I don't trust a lot of people. We live in, now again, I'm in America. How y'all doing? Someone
yeah.
save me. But we are in the land of capitalism, right? So you can
Um,
put out whatever product you want and lie your ass off here in
mm,
America, and
mm,
it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
right.
It's a
Yeah.
free capitalistic country. So people
Wow.
put out weight loss products, parasite cleanse products, whatever the new fad is, right? Just to
Hmm.
make money. And we don't
Okay.
agree with that. If I
Right.
give you a parasite cleanse, girl, you're going to send me worms. I promise you that. You're going to be sitting on that toilet like, I hate you, Sierra, but look at this worm. Because
Yeah.
again, what we're trying to get to health. In fact, I
Yes.
just made a shirt I was telling somebody that says future centenarian. A
Mm,
centenarian is a person who is at least 100 years old with no freaking health problems. I will
right.
be one. And I'm actually
Right.
going to try to live to 150 years old with no health problems and unaged.
There's a lady that's
Aging is a
120.
disease.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I froze. I apologize, guys, but
Oh,
I can
you're
still
fine.
hear you. It's okay. There's a lady that lived. There's 100. She's 120. She says, and they're like, "Is she really 120?" But it appears that she really is. So, but she's a vegan and grows her own stuff, and like she's one of those. So, it
And I
makes sense to
guarantee
me.
you, she gets up and moves every day.
Yep.
A
Oh,
body in
definitely.
motion stays in
Yeah. Oh,
motion.
exactly. And that's
And in
where.
America, we just dropped to a life expectancy of 73.
Oh gosh, I can't believe it's that high. I thought it was low. I don't know.
That's
I
funny,
mean,
girl.
I'm just saying. I do
But
stand up comedy.
imagine,
But I'm
so,
serious.
I'm 36. That means I'm at midlife.
Exactly.
Half of them
Wow.
are middle aged, right?
Well, I'm
But
in
in
my 50s.
America, yes, because they do not expect us to live very long because we are poisoning ourselves for other people's profits.
Wow, it's just crazy. And it's funny that you say that, and I like that you said you want to save people, because as an African American, I know that our health is not taken seriously, especially an African American woman when we have babies. I almost died having mine, and luckily my first husband was very, I'll say, he was about that life, and when he saw what was happening, he was like, wait a minute, there's a problem and you need to fix it ASAP, because she don't leave. No,
Yeah, like what in the
we're
world?
not leaving. Nobody's leaving if she doesn't leave. So luckily for me, I had a very persistent partner. If I didn't, I'd probably be dead now. And I still have the video of it, actually.
Well, God bless
But
that man,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. But I'm
Because
saying,
there's, a lot of people just don't have that, like that thing he had inside of him,
nope, nope. I'm so
right? I
lucky.
don't know if they're scared, if they've allowed people to kill it off in them, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure what it is, but
Well,
we're all
we
supposed
also
to
believe the
have that.
doctor. Yeah, but we also believe the doctor. Like they were sitting there and not sitting there. I was in the middle of labor, but they were like doing this thing, and he was like, there's a problem here, and she's bleeding out, and blah blah blah. And they were like, oh, no problem. He's like, excuse me, there's got to be a problem. There's no
There's
way this
definitely
can
a
happen.
problem.
There's a problem. And sure enough, if it wasn't for him, I'm dead serious. I'd probably be dead. I just thank God every day that he is who he's stubborn, who he is, because it saved my life.
Thank
So,
God, right?
but I was
But
telling you,
the
I said,
main
look,
thing, Tanya, that I want people to understand is number one, if
mhm,
you start now today
uh-huh,
on being healthy, on changing your diet, on
mhm,
opening your endocannabinoid system, even with just CBD, you
uh-huh,
will not get cancer. Your children will not get cancer. But
right,
if you don't,
uh-huh,
if you are eating all these foods, drinking sodas, and allowing all these medications, antibiotics, you are headed to one of two things: autoimmune disease or
yes,
cancer. That's it. Those are the only options. And it is not a quick trip. It's not fun. And once you have those, right, autoimmune diseases have no treatments really and no cures. They just try to mitigate. Cancer ends in one of two ways: death or remission. That's it. And I know everybody wants to think it won't happen to me. I thought the same thing. It will happen to you if you do not change your lifestyle. And it is not hard, guys. Again, I have made it very affordable, right? And if anybody wants to go and look at Landon's videos or the products we have, it's simply landonbeatcancer.com. And you can see what condition that poor child, my child, was in. The condition I allowed the medical establishment and pharmaceutical industry to almost kill my son. And it took everything in me to try to then save his life. So please don't do what I did. Please do not learn in the way that I learned. I barely made it out with my son's life. And thank God I did. A lot of people do not get that same result. So please take care of yourselves today. Take care of your children today. If you need help with access to safe fruits and vegetables and all that, look on my website or get a hold of me. I am trying so hard to put out the good information for you guys so you can learn to be the me of your community. We are all capable of helping heal each other and ourselves. Okay. The power that made your body and my body will heal itself if you give it the right environment. And I believe in you. I really do. We can all heal ourselves, our children, our moms, our dads. We do not have to suffer like this, y'all. We don't. So I really hope that people will start to wake up and realize you're not a dollar sign. You do not have to be a part of this, pharmaceutical industry that is making billions to trillions a year and the whole entire world. Take care of yourself. Learn about the plants in your region. Learn about detox. right? You can
Right.
do it.
Right.
I
Wow.
believe in everybody, girl. Everybody needs to each one teach one.
Well, that's what it's all about. Reach one and teach one, because even a lot of I listened to this guy Yaki Awaken. He's now Doctor Yaki Awaken, but he's a master herbalist. But he's amazing too, because he says that too. He wants to teach people how to go back in their community and do the same work he does.
Yes.
Because it's all
At
about
this point, it would be one thing, Tanya, if it was just my community,
right,
right? But in
right,
fact, the other day when all of the, everything went down, all the cell phone towers
right.
and stuff, right? So
Oh.
many people reached out to me and were like, Sierra, if this really does happen, how do we get a hold of you? And I said, just knock on my door.
Right.
Just come on by.
You know where I'm
Right?
at.
I'll have some coffee and tea ready. If you
Right.
don't live near me, you're fucked. And you better find the me in your community. And if you don't have one, somebody better get awakened to
Yep.
becoming it.
Yep. Yep.
There's
It's like,
supposed to be a medicine woman, a healer, and all of that in every community.
yes, I'm
But
thinking about
people
that
wanted to go, I don't know, be like secretaries or librarians or, I don't know, work for the government or be like models and stuff. And now we
right.
have no more healers, no more medicine women and men. And we've
Right.
got to get back to that or we're all fucked, girl. I
Right.
mean, they're going to make us all sick and then make money off of
Yep.
trying to treat us, which is really
Yep.
just going to be killing us
Exactly. And because either way they make money.
and our children,
Yes. Yes.
not just us, our children.
Well, that's the
Like
thing.
that's the saddest part. The
Well, that's
children
the
are
thing.
not safe.
If our age group is 75 to die, what is theirs now? Especially kids who's already, I won't say what it is. You know what I'm talking about? Who already did that? You know the thing.
Yeah.
So
Girl,
what is
I
their age?
saw 5 or 6 kids last week die from cancer.
I've seen a few.
And it literally, it's all the time. It is,
It's,
and all the kids getting diagnosed. It's all the time. Right.
yeah.
So the best thing that, I can try to tell people is prevention.
Right.
Please stop feeding your kid all the things that all of us did and our children did get cancer.
Right.
I would be like now I feed my son the exact opposite. Right.
Right.
And that's what people should be doing if you don't want what I got, which is a
Right.
child with cancer.
Right. So tell me, CBD. Let me see if I'm saying it right. CBD oil. How is, or cannabis? How do we say it? What is the difference, and how is it? How is it effective? You said something earlier, but I just want to clarify for people who don't know. And we're frozen, guys. I apologize. I was going to try to hit this button. If for any reason I hit the wrong one, we'll
We're
come back.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gone, and I'll have to send another link and go back to do the same thing again. So I was going to try it and see if this worked. I don't know if it worked. Let me see if refresh. If it doesn't, Sarah will come right back. Let me see if it works. Oh, it says, I don't know if that's right. It says reload site. I don't know if that's good.
Oh, I wouldn't. It'll probably end it.
So let's just
But
keep it going. Let's keep going.
the basic way for me to explain that to people is the plant itself, one plant, right, is called the cannabis plant, the marijuana plant.
Right.
Inside of that plant are a lot of different compounds, such as CBD, THC, CBG, CBN. There's actually 108 of them that we have identified. We've now started researching what each one of them does. THC obviously works for pain and is psychoactive. It gets you high. CBD has no psychoactive effect, and it is very good for anti-cancer as well as anti-epilepsy, anti-inflammation, right? It also helps with pain, but with no psychoactive effect. CBN is being studied as the next Valium or Xanax. CBG is being studied for all GI cancers and issues like IBS, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, right? So they're all just a different compound in the plant, but THC was the main one we've all known about. And it is, as of now, right, because we haven't, discovered and figured out the other ones, it is the main one that gets you high. But it also has a lot of other amazing qualities, such as anti-tumor effects, anti-cancer effects, blood cleansing effects, right? And so they all have a different, system that they affect and work with, but using them together usually creates what we call the entourage effect, which means they all work better synergistically.
Okay. So, wow. Well, okay. So then, what is the, what do they call it? The Cannamom culture. What is that all about? So there are people just like you, or is that different than also those who are healers as well, or they are in their own way?
It started with me. I was the first one, the OGCannamom, right?
Oh,
And then
okay.
there was a few other moms that got involved, and
Okay.
we were moms
Mhm.
who were treating our children, right,
Mhm.
with cannabis.
Okay.
And then another group of cannamoms came on the scene. They were
Mhm.
simply mothers of children,
Okay.
but they used cannabis,
Okay.
right? So, oh, if a glass of wine in a day is okay, so is my joint, right?
Right.
But they do not give their children
Right.
cannabis.
Okay.
We do. Now,
Okay.
just imagine I might not use cannabis. I do. I'm a medical patient, but just imagine I
Right.
might not use cannabis. I give it to my son.
Right.
That's
Okay.
a big difference, right? And
Right.
so it kind of upset us all whenever those canna moms came and like took our words, like, oh, we're canna moms too. No,
Right.
you don't give cannabis to your child, you consume it yourself.
Right.
So that's
Right.
where it all kind of got,
It's murky.
befuddled. But really, we're all in this together, I guess, right? Because where the bridge happens between them and
Mhm.
us, if you use cannabis, right,
Mhm.
as
Mhm.
yourself for your medical problems, if something happens to your kid, you are 1000% more likely to go also use it for your child.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
you're not taking narcotics. You don't want to go down that road, but
Right.
your child just doesn't have a need for it yet. But in
Okay.
America, that yet, girl,
Right.
we
I
have
know.
over 8 million children on a narcotic prescription in America.
Oh, I know. It's
That's
just
insane.
it's crazy.
So
And
most of us feel we would rather give our children cannabis than a
Mhm.
narcotic,
Yes, and
and we
but
should
I mean,
have that right.
it makes sense when you put it that way. It makes sense, but they don't put it that way. They put it the way that you're giving your child marijuana.
I'm like, but you want to give him OxyContin,
Exactly. So,
right?
but yeah, exactly. And that's what I was gonna say.
Well, but the
I
FDA
knew
says that's okay, Sarah. I'm like, I don't
exactly,
give a shit what they say.
exactly. And
They
Xanax,
also said that Kool-Aid was good for us and milk does a body good.
exactly, and it does not do your
And
body
that
good.
chemotherapy
Possibly,
cures cancer. I don't believe anything they say.
yeah, no. Well,
Because if you
actually,
have
I
enough
don't either.
money, you can get the FDA to allow you to say whatever you want.
Yep, yep.
And
It's
then a few short letters later in America, we heard, have you or a loved one been injured by this FDA approved drug? Please call this number to get your piece of the pie.
exactly.
All
Well,
right. So just that right there should let them know it's all about the money here. Right. And in fact,
it is.
me and a couple other cancer moms, right, we have
Uh-huh.
said, we're going to leave this country. We're all starting to pull together and,
Yep,
get our monies together because
yep.
we just cannot, girl. Like, we
There's
cannot
quite a
keep
few places you
dealing with
guys should buy.
this.
Yeah, buy a nice place in Portugal or somewhere, and buy a whole, property, and you guys
And just
should raise.
raise our kids.
Yep, because that's what one of my friends left. So she went to Canada. Now she regrets that, but there's a whole community of people that homeschool their kids. They don't take any meds. Like they're really serious about it.
And
But
again, I always tell people, just because we're not doing that does
mhm,
not mean we're not educating our children. Does not
exactly,
mean, and in fact, I tell people, those of us on this side of it, we're creating superhumans.
yes,
Okay. They're getting 16 servings of organic fruits and vegetables a day. They're
yeah,
getting CBD and THC every day. They're getting frequencies. They're getting quantum and scalar energy. We're raising the next superhumans. We are raising the next legion that will change this world because
yes,
they're going to have all the right energy inside of them to do so.
exactly, exactly. Good for you. Wow. Well,
But
what
America, girl, they are trying to stop us at every turn. In fact, even after my son was vaccinated, they were like, oh, it's time for his flu shot. I'm like, you could take that and shove it right in your ass cheek. If you come anywhere near my son, we going.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Or every time
Yeah,
I turned around, they're trying to give him a soda and a cupcake. Or have
yeah,
Ronald McDonald running through
yeah.
handing out Happy Meals because the Ronald McDonald House is what
Yep.
sponsors
Isn't that
children's
ironic?
centers.
Isn't that
So there's
ironic?
McDonald's built into some children cancer centers.
That's horrible. That's
And
horrible.
Ronald
That's horrible.
McDonald's running around. I'm like, get on out of here, bro. You gonna need Big Bird too. Get on,
Yeah.
get on, go on down to the next room. Don't even think about it.
That's horrible because
It
this
really is. Bringing
because
candies
so
to the
it's
kids
like
all the
saying, yeah,
time.
yeah, it's like, excuse me for saying this, but it's sort of like the priest saying, yeah, we have a soccer team. It's like, no, we don't
No,
want your
I'm
soccer.
good.
We're good. We're good. We
Yeah,
don't
like,
need
oh, I've taken an interest in your child. I'm
yeah,
good.
no, yeah, we don't need any mentoring here. Thank you. Yeah.
Nope. That'd be like if Bill Gates showed up and was like, I've just taken an interest in Landon. I'll slay you where you stand too, homie.
Exactly. No.
Get away from my kid.
Exactly. No.
You know what
No.
I mean? Like, and again, if people don't realize something very nefarious is happening in this world and
Yep.
mainly against our children. And the
Yes.
only people they have to help them and protect them and defend them is us. But if
Yes.
you're drinking the Kool-Aid, you're going to lead your child straight to
Right to
fucking
hell.
hell.
Yep. Right to hell.
Because that's what I went through. It was pure hell.
Yeah.
And I
No,
barely
that's
came out of it with my own sanity and health and my son's life. I mean, and that was, and girl, the Grim Reaper he was right there. He was like, give me that kid. I'm all, back up, bro, back up.
Wow.
No.
Well, he looks so healthy now. And how's he doing now? He's great, right?
So he just turned 14.
Wow,
He's got 11 years cancer free. He's 5'6" and in a 13 size shoe.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Yes. And he's in the AB honor roll, right? And he's such just a well-rounded human being. So it was his birthday. I went up there, right? Hey, I'm going to take you shopping. He wanted to pick out shoes and clothes for his friends that he feels like are impoverished.
Oh, he did. He's so sweet already.
I'm like, Landon, we can do that, right? But I want to get you something. He's like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. We've got to help these people. I'm like, oh my gosh, Landon. And he's 14. Right? Most kids don't give a shit,
Right. Good for you.
Wants to go to Costco and buy all these organic snacks for his friends so they can eat better.
Oh, God bless him.
But again, we're ready. If we can create, small superhumans, they will change the world around them. You just have to get them strong enough in the mind, body, and soul. Right. And so I've told Landon, you're better than everybody walking this planet because you shouldn't be here.
Wow.
Well, and you know the truth. So you need to tell it. Do not let anybody tell you that you're a liar. They're lying. That's why they're sick. That's why they're fat. That's why they have acne. That's why they're upset. That's why they're mean. That's why they're hateful. Because if you're not any of those things, you're nothing but a loving, happy, healthy human being.
Wow. Well, that is amazing. What is the last takeaway you'd like for parents to know? Or is there anything you want us to know that maybe help somebody?
You're not safe. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what your degrees are in. I don't care if you came from the streets. You are not safe, and neither are your children unless you change your lifestyle. You start getting out the toxins from your life, the endocrine disruptors, put more love and light and faith in whatever you want to believe in. I don't care if it's pasta, right? But you need to have good things in your life. You need to be happy. Right? Be happy with your children, right? Don't feel that you have to participate in this world. This is your world. Make it however you want, but do not participate in their world because you are headed straight towards you being sick and your children. And it will be the fight of your life. Start now or tomorrow, but don't start any later than tomorrow.
Yes. I'm starting the juice thing tomorrow. I was going to try to do 120 days of just juicing. But I don't know.
Do it, girl. I always tell people just start with 5 days. Right? A lot of people want to bite the whole elephant. Just start, even if you just start with 1 day and work up to it.
I've done 14 with no food and just only herbs. But so I can do it. It's just becomes a challenge.
Yeah,
so
I'm actually about to launch a 30-day transformational challenge with an organ cleanse, a colon cleanse, a parasite cleanse, detoxes and stuff. And I'm going to go through it with people so I can help them kickstart their life because most people just don't know what to do. So if we, each one teach one, and I'm going to tell them the only reason I'll accept you in this is if you sign a contract that you will go teach other people what I'm about to teach you.
Right. Good for you. Good for you. And where can we find you? Facebook?
So you guys can find me on Facebook, Sierra Lynn Riddle or Sierra Riddle, Offer Hope for Landon. We're on Instagram, Team Landon and Cannabis, and LandonBeatCancer.com is our website, and our CBD website is cbdforall.org.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm sorry that we froze, but I think this is so good for the podcast, which is worldwide. And I see somebody make comments. Sorry, I couldn't see you guys, but I can hear you. And we're going to do an unusual ending today and without my music, which is very sad, but that's okay. But I thank you so much for taking the time. Any last words you want to tell us before we go?
Be the change you want to see, y'all.
Oh, that's it. And that's all. Be the change you want to see. I appreciate you so much. And I will get back to you in a minute. I'll just try to end this. And guys, thank you so much for watching, listening. And I'm sure you'll get something out of this. So please share it if you can. I appreciate you. And have a blessed day, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate you so much. Guys,
You
I'll
are
tell you
welcome.
to go to her page. I'll make sure I post it up on my page, the vitamins she was talking about and where you can find her. Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's see. Okay.